Happy 2022, everybody. Did you have a nice new year or not? As I mentioned before previously, the big development that occurred going into 2022 from 2021 was the fact that I indeed contracted the Nova, whatever it's called, the coronavirus, COVID-19. Basically, the illness that has been really impacting the world right now for the past 2 years now, and a little bit before, but pretty much 2 years globally. That happened to me. It wasn't fun. I will tell you my story because I think it's a little bit interesting. Where to begin but the beginning, am I right? After 2 years of trying not to get it, I did finally get COVID-19, which wasn't great. It definitely did impact my life a little bit. But luckily, I had the tools and means available to keep me healthy and keep it throughout that period. Other people do not, unfortunately. But I think I would just share my thoughts and share my little experience of it. It happened about I would say 2 weeks ago now. So it's not a terrible amount of time, and I didn't come out to like Twitter or YouTube to say anything about it directly. I think I tweeted about it once, and I did tell some friends, and obviously some family members knew, but it's fine. I suppose. I guess I would just. I guess I just want to talk about my thoughts on it, on getting this sickness that has definitely impacted society and culture for the past 2 years now. So that's great. Anyway, so I work at a factory setting sort of job right now. I don't do Twitch or YouTube full time yet, but so I have always been out and about during this pandemic, but I've always been cautious, you know what I mean? I always wore my mask, washed my hands, use hand sanitizer, social distance, tried mostly trying to be the best I could be within the circumstances of this monumental phenomenon that unfortunately has killed. Let me look up the numbers. I keep forgetting I'm at a computer. So we're currently at worldwide. Yep, it has killed 6 million. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm not trying to spread misinformation about this sort of thing, about anything pertaining to this subject matter. If I misspeak about something, that was an accident, and I mean no harm or to spread misinformation. It was just it's just me being a goof and not anything insidious. So just a heads up. We're currently at 5.57 million worldwide deaths due to coronavirus. Throughout this entire pandemic, I did my best to try and minimize my chances of getting this thing, and I think I did a pretty good job. I got vaccinated for one, fully vaccinated at the time. I've yet to get my booster, but I'm working on it. And I have no issue talking about this. I took these precautions because one, it's not fun when you actually get it. Two, I actually have very vulnerable people in my life throughout this whole pandemic that if they were to get it, it wouldn't be great for them. I don't think so, regardless. So I had plenty of reasons not to do that. I was actually living with my parents at the start of this whole thing, and I just moved out somewhat recently. So, and they're skewing on old, obviously, because I'm like 28 in their 60s and 70s. So, but luckily, I've always had the means to mostly pay my bills and live in this apartment you see here. And I think I've been doing pretty well, all things considered, because there are people that haven't been doing very well due to a variety of reasons, a lot of which aren't their fault. You know what I mean? Through some reason or another, during this Omicron, I don't know why I'm putting that in quotations. It's a thing. Like, no. It's a thing. The Omicron variant is a thing. Through the Omicron stage of this thing, I finally got it. I remember starting my weekend, well, my weekend, so to speak. I don't work. My week doesn't work like a traditional work week. I get off in the middle of the week, near the end of the near just before the end of the week, and not until, and unlike you, which you may work a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 thing. Anyway, I remember coming home. I remember not feeling well at my job the hours before I clocked out, and like I had a headache. My chest wasn't feeling that great, but I wasn't like gasping for air, and I felt pretty crummy. So I went home, slept. Next day, I woke up, wasn't feeling great at all. Went, stayed home, slept, and I figured I must have a cold or a flu. Excuse me, I have the burps currently. Huh. I figured, oh, I already tested COVID recently. It came back negative. There's no way I had COVID. So in the middle of the night, I tested myself with an at-home test, which I was very fortunate to find and buy at the time. I took the test. I was feeling congested, feeling very crummy, and lo and behold, positive test result. So that's great. I don't know. It was probably the Omicron variant. It was probably um, during a. I probably contracted it during an incident where I let my guard down, unfortunately, but you can only do so much, I suppose. So I called my parent. I called my parents. My mother, who is a snowbird that goes down to Florida every winter with her husband, and stepdad, my father, who lives locally near me. But I get along with everyone pretty much well, so it's not like I called them up and they're like, it's Austin again. What does he want? Austin bad. And luckily they were like, oh, thanks for telling me, just so that they know if something were to happen to me, I guess. Or like, hey, I haven't heard from Austin, or like, I should get ready in case something happens to Austin. But luckily nothing severe happened. I was able to write it out here mainly. So that was that. Luckily I had the kindness and the charitable actions of people like my sister, who came by and safely dropped off some things, including some like soup, milk. What else did she give me? She got me vitamins and supplements to improve my immune system. That was neat. So I really appreciate it. I know she's kind of going through a hard time right now. Not hard in the sense that I believe she lost a family member, on a mother-in-law, recently. So during that, she was able to do that thing for me, and I'm incredibly grateful. So anyway, I'm staying home. I'm working with my workplace, saying, "Hey, I have the thing we've been trying to avoid for the past 2 years," and I showed them proof of my test, and they were like, "Okay, you're probably going to be out for a few days, but we'll get you in contact with um a nursing, it's like a first aid, a first contact, first nurse, first wellness. I don't know what it is, but through my company, I was talking to a nurse for like the full isolation period, and that was pretty neat. Again, I was very fortunate to have that, just to have that guidance on what I should do and how I should feel, and it wasn't terribly comprehensive, but it did help, and it was by a certified nurse practitioner, so it was professional. So I was very lucky to have that. I remember sleeping a lot. I had a cough. It felt very cold like. And again, I'm not trying to spread misinformation. This is my personal account. If anything I get wrong about this, that's just on me, but I don't mean to be malicious. I remember my sinuses
Were clogged up, and that wasn't fun because you have to breathe through your mouth.
I think I had aches and pains around here too. I had one instance of, and that wasn't fun. But fever. I got incredibly feverish throughout this whole process. It got better. I took a lot of ibuprofen to get the fever down and to feel all around better. So, and luckily, this whole thing was due to the fact that I was prepared via some sort of vaccination, some sort of certifiable vaccination. Excuse me. Also had a cough too. I really don't think I would be here. I won't say a whole lot about my health background here, but I don't think I would be here in the way that I am, at the very least, without getting vaccinated myself. So um, it definitely does help. It's not fun, especially when you have an underlying condition, or you skew a little bit older, that you catch it and you're just miserable. And I understand it's my recommendation, and I can speak from experience now. Even though I was never against getting 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 the vaccine, um, I recommend that if you can, do it. And I say if you can, do it, because I understand there are immunocompromised individuals that legitimately cannot get it. I'm talking a lot today. There's no water in here. So I'm very thankful that I was able to have the means to get the vaccine, and I hope to get my booster, and I hope to hopefully I bump the mic again, and I hope to continue, doing whatever it realistically takes to protect myself from these sort of things. Afterwards, I still kind of have a cough, a little bit congestion. It's not terrible now. I think at my workplace, I don't know if it's a stress or some element of my work environment, physically, where I tend to cough a little bit more, but I'm still wearing a mask. I'm still protecting myself. The isolation period was fine. It did stink that I couldn't make work time in the traditional way, the same way. Being home pretty much a full week, and then coming back after the fact. Luckily, I was able to use, well, I guess not so much luckily, but at this time, I was able to get the means to have that time compensated for, and I was able to get to fill in that time in order to be paid for it. I don't work in service. I'm working a job that luckily has programs like that. Other people do not work in jobs where they have programs like that, and other people do work in jobs where they're like, that sucks. We kind of need people to come in, and I don't think that that's necessarily right. And I pretty much know that's not the business's fault, but I don't know. You tell me. It wasn't all bad. The isolation period wasn't all bad. I was able to clean up my apartment a little bit, stay home, realize new things about myself. I like soup. My sister brought soup, and I had some soup, and it's very easy to make in a can. You just open the can, and then you pour it in a bowl, and then you put water in the can. You put the water in the bowl, and then you put it in the microwave. It's like magic. I did tidy up a little bit. It's not, the apartment isn't where I want it to be yet, but it's better than it was. If anyone knows anything about me, it's like any immediate people, is that I am one of those creative types that are just like chaos and disarray. This is acceptable, but also at the same time, I'm one of those people that do like things to be orderly and organized, and I get some sort of gratification when I like organize something. Like I've been putting things in like these little things in these condiment containers. Oh, it feels very good to me. This is for I'm trying to do stuff with my Nintendo Wii, in that I can soft mod it, and this is the stuff I was going to use for it, so I'm going to save it for later. During isolation, I also watched some A lot of streaming. I'm still not caught up with The Mandalorian, but I did watch a few more episodes of the first season. There was a great episode right in the middle of the first season where it's pretty much a job where the Mandalorian of the title accepts a job to like be on a crew where they have to save that they have to break someone out of a New Republic space shuttle, and like the second part of that episode turns into like something like Alien, but instead of the xenomorph, it's a different character. So Batman the animated series on HBO Max. I watched a lot of HBO Max. Um, I watched the first episode that they have of Batman the animated series, and I hope to watch more. I understand they didn't really. You can definitely tell it was made 30 years ago at this point, but it's fine. You can definitely see it wasn't. It's not the version on HBO Max hasn't been restored. You can definitely see like the grain stuff in like the original opening that they had, but it's fine. I do remember watching that show on reruns on Kids WB and Cartoon Network, maybe. Not when it aired, first aired, but I do remember the opening and different things about the show. I did watch a lot of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. They have an Adult Swim section on that app, and I remember a quick note about that show. I remember I had classmates in sixth grade 20 years ago now who would watch that show, and um, it's pretty funny. It's like the perfect stoner show. Like you just want to watch it and just laugh at it. I guess it's so stupid, but it makes me laugh. It makes me entertained. The Ghost of Christmas Past episode is pretty funny. What else? Watch a little bit of the first and second season. Each episode would open with like Doctor Weird and his assistant.
Gentlemen, behold!
Um, Lots of Hanna Barbera influence there. But it was funny.
I'm Carl. Thank you very much. Hope your house burns down.
I think it's legitimately funny. What else did I watch? Yeah, but pretty much that was it. Those are the big two highlights. But HBO Max, it might be worth looking into. It has a a diverse library of content. So, but yeah, I was able to come back from the other side of this safely and without much pain. But the future, who knows what the future may hold? But that's my COVID experience, I guess. I was very fortunate to be in the situation and have the resources and the to be able to do what I did. But the point I want to make is that other people didn't. Other people don't. Other people do not have those means and those that help. That's just what happened. I wasn't able to work on anything. I was just chilling. Maybe we're cleaning up around the house a little bit, and that's just my story. I guess so. That was my COVID experience. Actually, getting the COVID. Big stretch. And now my throat's going out because I've been talking for. How long have I been talking for? Oh, about 20 minutes. Okay, that checks out. I'm probably going to cut it down to however long this is going to be. But, yeah, I guess at this point, that's what happened. That's my COVID story. So I guess my message to you is that after this little incident, I'm going to try to be more careful. I do have vitamins and supplements back there, luckily, that will help with the immune system and stuff. And I wish to not catch it or spread it to anyone else ever again. So I guess that's it. I guess that's a good note to go on. Just keep improving. But what is that noise? Is that a dog? Is that a bird? Do you hear it? It bugs me. I guess my hope is that hopefully you gain some insight from this little antidote. And if you have the means to get to prepare yourself in the event that you do get it, I would capitalize on that and like get vaccinated if you're able. Work with doctors and professionals in order to see what route of that would be best. Just be smart about it. It's real. It happened. I wouldn't be sitting here today if it weren't for the guidance and the knowledge and the work put in by people that have been working against this. So I think we still have a lot of things to improve about that sort of thing as a society on how to combat. There's one thing about playing music on your car right outside while someone's trying to film a YouTube video. It's another thing when that music is copyrighted. I'm gonna eat myself. So that's where we're at. I'm kicking stuff. I think we're in a good point where I'm back in making videos again, and I hope to make videos on all sorts of things. Because whoa. Still playing that music, huh? What a hottie. Anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and end it here. Thank you for watching this throughout the entirety. I really appreciate it. Hey there, I'm MaximumAustin, and until next time, always remember to keep being confident, and you enjoy your day.
My neck. Ah!